So now we're going to try doing more than one transformation at a time. So here on the left you can see a triangle QRS, and we're going to translate it by the rule xy goes to x minus 3, x minus 4. So that means it's going to go left 3, down 4. So this point at 1, negative 2 is going to go negative 2, and let's say down 4, so right there. This point at 4, 1 is going to go to 1, negative 3. And this point at 2, 3 is going to go negative 1, negative 1. And I can just connect those up. Alright, so that's a single transformation, a translation. And I trust that you can fill in the coordinate points. On the right, you can see that transformation's already been done. So we've already transformed QRS to Q prime, R prime, and S prime. The prime being these little apostrophes after the letter. Now we're going to do a second transformation, which is going to result in Q double prime, R double prime, S double prime. If we did a third transformation, there would be 3 little apostrophes. If we did a fourth transformation, there would be 4, and so on. In any case, we're going to start from these points that have already been translated, and now we're going to reflect them over the x-axis. Well, the rule for reflecting over the x-axis is that the y changes sign. X stays the same, y changes sign. So each point is just going to flip right over the x-axis. I can do better than that. Let's see. There we go. This point's right here, and this point is right here. And then we just connect the dots, like so. All right, so we can do that with a number of different figures. So there's a figure here. First, we're going to rotate it 180 degrees around the origin. That means x and y are both going to change sign. So we're going to get a point here and a point here and a point at negative 2, negative 3, right there. So the entire thing is spinning around the middle of the triangle, which is on the origin. It's just spinning in place around the origin. Okay, and then if we then reflect that over the line y equals x, the rule for that is that x and y switch places. So if we have a point at 1, 4, it goes to 4, 1. If we have a point at 3, 2, it goes to 2, 3. So this line over here on the right now looks like that. This point on the left also flips over the line y equals x and goes right there. And so there's our new triangle. And again, I'm trusting that you can fill in the coordinate points for yourself. All right. So I'm going to do one more, and then you'll have a chance to practice. So for this first one, 7a, we're going to first do a translation to the right 6 and down 3. So this point at negative 3, negative 2 is going to go positive 3. That's the right 6, and then we're going to go down 3 to negative 5. This point at negative 3, positive 2 is also going to go positive 3, but then it's going to go down to negative 1. So that right side of the triangle now looks like that. The third point is at negative 5, negative 1. So when we move it to the right 6, we're at positive 1, and the y value becomes negative 4. There we go. Translated down and right, like so. The second transformation that we're going to do is we're going to reflect it over the y-axis. So that's a reflection this way. Not a translation, but a reflection over the line. I'm so sorry, I messed up. Over the y-axis. So the y-axis is here, so we will be reflecting it over this way. Okay? All right, so each point is going to come over the y-axis. So the x value is going to change sign. There we go. Okay, so 7b is another one you can do. It's reflected first over the x-axis, which changes the sign of y, and then it's reflected over the y-axis, which changes the sign of x. Now, I think when you do this, you're going to see that doing both of these transformations causes the signs of both x and y to change, which is similar to one of the rotations. In fact, it's exactly the same as one of the rotations, and I'll let you look back in your notes to see which rotation that was. 90 degrees clockwise, 90 degrees counterclockwise, or 180 degrees. Okay, and then there's a couple over here. First one says to rotate clockwise 90 degrees around the origin. I've written the rule for that right here. And then reflect the image over the line, which I've drawn here, y equals x, and I've written the rule right here for that. And lastly, this one you're supposed to reflect over the y-axis, which again changes the sign of x, and then do this translation right here.